So the next thing I want to do is just give you a real like rough overview of WordPress, just so you get an understanding of just generally how it works and where things are. Okay. So right off the bat, obviously when you clicked it, when we clicked in here, you could have either clicked Open Site or WP Admin. To log into the site and to actually make changes, you have to go to WP Admin. By default, it's going to show the dashboard here, right? So I was just in with installed plugins. You would just click on dashboard and that'll bring you back to the home. Okay. I'm going to click this up here to just get rid of that because I don't really need that. Again, you can see here, welcome to WordPress. If you want to know more, you can click on that. I'm going to go ahead and dismiss that. So the home page here basically is going to have all of the activity and recent events and things like that will be placed inside of here. So if anyone made a comment on a post or so here's comments too, any new pages that were made. Also, let's see, site health status. You can, if you have a plugin that keeps track of, like I was saying, like visitors, that stuff would all be generally found here, sort of like just an overview of how the site's doing, that sort of stuff. Be honest, I don't do anything inside of here. It's not really super useful. So this is the so this is the home. This entire thing though, this is the back end. This is the dashboard. I just want to show you this before we go into it. If I click back on up here, you can click this or this, it'll work either way. This is the front end, okay? All right, and then if I want to go back to the back end, I would just click this again and you go back to the back end, okay? So that's how we can go back and forth to see what we've done and so on and so forth. But I do want you to realize that once you've logged in, so like watch, if I click on open site, notice that there's this black bar up here. This means that I am now logged in as admin. When we first did this, see, it doesn't have that. But if I were to refresh this now, since we're logged in, that bar is going to be there. Okay, so just be aware that that top bar exists when you're in as admin, because there are ways of interacting with the site from the front end here. We're not going to do that right now, but I just want you to know that that does exist. So I'm going to click back on this to go back to the dashboard. All right, so once you're in here, sometimes you'll see this updates. Basically, if there are like the plugins or the themes have updates, sometimes it's security things, sometimes it's added features. You'll see a little symbol there. You can click on it and then just update any of them. Just do that now and then. This is posts. So basically, these are blog posts. Technically, posts and pages are the same thing. They just have different tags and they're organized differently. We're not going to do any posts because it's not really super necessary. But if I click on posts, you can see them here. All right. And so we only have one. They just make a default hello world one. So you can see it here. If you want to view it, what you can do is you can click edit to edit the post. Here's the quick edit. When you click on quick edit, it's just going to allow you to change the general name of it, like the title of it, and maybe some kind of like quick general settings. You can hit trash. That will just delete the page. If you click view, it's actually going to open it up. Clone. That is because we installed that plugin, that Yoast duplicate. If you didn't activate it, then this actually won't, this won't be here. New draft, rewrite, and publish, right? So I'm going to middle button, click on this, so it opens it up in a new tab. But now I can see this is what the post looks like. So this is the front end. But if I had multiple ones, you would just see one after another after another. And you can just click on them and do bulk actions like delete them or, you know, move, clone them or whatever. Okay, so that's posts. Again, we're not going to do anything with that currently, but just be aware that it exists. Media is basically all of the items that you upload. So your images or any other, like sometimes you might have noticed, like when I have my site, you can click on something and it's a zip folder. That would also be found here. So really anything that you upload that's not text, any file that you upload, it doesn't have to be just images. It could be video, images, other content. That will exist inside of this media library. Okay, and so you can see all of it right here, and they have ways of organizing it. You'll see as we go along. This will accumulate as we're building. We don't have to upload it here first. We can, but as we upload things when we're working on pages, they'll show up here. Basically, this is the well that holds all of our content. Pages is where we're going to do all of our work. So here you can see there's two default pages, right? And if I click on this one, I can click view, right? And then that will show me, let's get rid of this one. That will show me the sample page. Again, it's just a generic page that was already built beforehand, so that you would have a page. And then if you see here, you'll be like, oh, this one doesn't have it as preview because this is draft. So basically it's been made. I'll just go ahead and middle mouse button click. this has been made, but it actually hasn't been published, which means the page is made, but we haven't made it live. I'm doing air quotes. So the general public wouldn't be able to see that, which is handy because what we can do is create our entire pages and just do them as drafts. And then once it's complete, go ahead and make it live. Because obviously I wouldn't want to have a page. I don't want to have it like open to the public as I'm like trying to figure it out, right? So that's partly why you don't see all my pages. So that's what that's for, right? So this is where we're going to make each one of our web pages. They're going to exist in here, and I'll show you a couple different ways to go about making them. Comments, this is just the general comments to our posts and whatever that we make. Not super useful. I don't do anything with this, but it's something you could add if you wanted to. Appearance is all the things that deal with the appearance. So this is generic. You'll see that as you install plugins, and so for instance, when we do our one plugin, the Elementor plugin, there'll be an Elementor item inside of this list. Okay, so this is the default, but it can be larger. So appearance is going to be themes and editor. So themes is obviously the themes. Editor is actually if you wanted to, and you should not do this, if you wanted to make some adjustments to the theme, you can make some adjustments here. Okay. Well, actually, this is okay. I thought they were going to have us actually write the code. So anyway, that's what that part is. Plugins, you already saw that. That's where we have our plugins. Users, this can be useful. So right now we just have one, right? Name, blah, 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 and the role is administrator. The reason why this is particularly useful is that you can, as a web designer and webmaster, you can go through, create the site, you'll be the administrator. But then let's say you're making a site and it's for a restaurant. Every time they want to update the menu or they wanted to like have something on the front like that, like as a promotion or something, they'd have to come to you and be like, hey, can you do this for me? What you could do instead is actually give them, make another username for them. They won't be administrator. You'll give them a lower role, but it allows them to create some content where you would specify. But leave you as the main administrator. That way they wouldn't accidentally break something or move something around, but you can allow them to have basically roles, okay? So that's where you would handle all of that. Tools. Let's see, you can import and export out sites, so you can like compress this and send it out. Theme file editor. Okay, so they moved it from appearance. So theme file editor, this is going to show, just so I understand, this actually shows the theme. And so let's go to the style here. Oh, that's all that's in it. Okay. This will actually show the theme and how it is written. So it's got basically all the pieces. You don't want to write, so you can see this is with the HTML and all this stuff. You don't want to write anything inside of here, but this is showing you the code. For one reason, it doesn't update well when you go to do it. You'll hit update file and it'll just spin and spin and spin. There's other ways of doing this. We're not going to cover it in this class. We'll cover it in Web Design 2 class, but that's what this is for. So this does a lot of like kind of the nitty gritty stuff, as does settings. So settings is how we're going to choose what the web address is, the icon. So like you see how it's right now, it's got that default WordPress icon. That's where we would choose this. Yada, yada, yada. Reading, well, actually, that's how we choose our home page right here. So we can choose a static page. We'll do that eventually. How many blogs, things like that. Okay. And then that will collapse the menu or open the menu. All right. So that is the dashboard.